right, welcome back. It has become a great Detroit refrain. But what about the neighborhoods? Well, let's ask that very question this morning of the people who are at the intersection of city government and Detroit's citizens. I'm very happy to have with me this morning, first off, Charlie Beckham. He is Mayor Duggan's group executive for the neighborhoods. Marshall Bullock is here, formerly a district manager, now community affairs coordinator. And we do have two district managers with us, Stephanie Young from District 1 on the northwest side of town, and Vince Keenan from District 5, more downtown and
east-west side.
East-west side, kind of on both sides. So thank you all very much for being here. Charlie, let me start with you.
Yes, sir.
When you hear this all the time, what about the neighborhoods? What is your answer? What is happening right now in the neighborhoods?
Well, you know, we're in the neighborhoods. As you know, Devin, about 3 years ago when we started the Duggan campaign, it was based on, and its motto was, every neighborhood has a future. And so we put together this new phenomenon called Department of Neighborhoods, which is kind of a misnomer because it's several departments. In addition to the district managers, which we have here, we've got Parks and Rec, Health, and Municipal Parking, and Customer Service, and the like, dealing with everything that happens in the neighborhoods. And so the assignment for these folks was to get to know your neighborhoods, know every block club captain, every neighborhood association president, every faith-based group, nonprofit, everything that's going on in the neighborhoods. And so daily, they're out there talking and interfacing with the citizens of Detroit, and it's just been a phenomenal job. We got a good team here. This is only half of it, but they've done an outstanding job.
And I'm going to ask them both in a second about the frustrations that you hear from the residents still that we know exist. But Marcia, first, your take on clearly we've seen a lot of progress on a lot of things. There are a lot of street lights in places that didn't have them not too long ago. The demolitions, even though there's still a lot of buildings to come down, are moving at what the mayor tells us is a record pace, and yet there is frustration among a lot of people that it all can't go faster.
Well, yeah, you got to start somewhere. So sometimes it's the folks that we're not in their area just yet, and they're impatient and they see things happening. So their expectations have risen because they see things happening, and so we just have to try to encourage some patience and then move forward.
I suppose that's good, though, that expectations are there, because for years there was no expectation that it was changing.
Yeah, so the hope is, the hope is there. They know that there's something coming, and they just want to see something in their neighborhood. So we try to be creative and come up with some other things, like the board up program. We may not be doing demolitions, but we can get your neighborhood some boards, and you guys can board up the homes.
To at least keep people out of it. Exactly. Stephanie, Vince, I'm curious as to how you feel like this district manager system is working. There were some that felt like this was a weird overlay of the mayor's office onto the turf that should be handled by the representatives, now that we've gone to districts on the city council. But how's it working so far, do you think?
Well, I think it's working great. So I'm District 1, so my council person is James Tate.
Right.
He and I communicate on a regular basis. We don't undercut or overcut, but we work together because it's about the residents and it's about these neighborhoods. So we have a great working relationship. His meeting, I'm always on the agenda to speak on things as it relates to what's going on in the Department of Neighborhoods. It's called teamwork. That's how you get things done.
Yeah. I think, so I think a big part of it is that, well, it might have looked weird in the beginning, and that might be an assumption about how the district how the district council was supposed to function. The truth is that the executive office is still supposed to handle executive function, and our job is to make sure what the boss wants to get done gets done in the district. And so that's the partnership. I work with Mayor Sheffield's office all the time. The idea is that together we bring both the executive and legislative perspective to the residents, and we can work with that moving forward.
Two different paths, really, that you're both on. But I am curious that you represent some of the most challenged neighborhoods in the city, Brightmoor.
Yeah.
What are you hearing mostly? Boy, this is great, or this is a mess. Is it frustration, or is it happiness at what is happening?
Oh, it's happiness about what's going on right now.
Really?
People are, as my brother just said over there, Marshall, he just said that there's hope. Hope is now the key word that you hear in Brightmoor. We just had a press conference with the Fisher Foundation. They're donating, $1 million to do additional demolition around the Brightmoor area, making certain that kids have a safe pathway to school. And the residents see it, the families see it. People are moving in to Brightmoor. Who ever heard of that, right? And they're coming from not just across the state and across metropolitan Detroit, but from out of the country to come to Brightmoor, to be a part of urban farming and all those different initiatives that are going on. So put the bright is back in Brightmoor for sure.
But that's a good line. But Vince, I've got to assume your email looks at least like mine does, where you still hear from people who feel like crime is out of control, that there's,
Sure.
you know.
Well, we see a lot of the same complaints where we haven't been able to move the dial yet. But what's great about this administration and what the mayor's been doing is that he's willing to experiment. Part of our job is to make sure that where folks have been working for years on different ideas how to make it work, the mayor wants those ideas captured and see if we can work them into policy. The truth is that, like, as you mentioned to Marshall before, we're seeing the complaints change to sort of more impatience. Fine, you've gotten the lights taken care of, but what about this? And we see that as progress because basically the city's lurching back into life and activity and performing the function it's supposed to perform, and people are responding to that and saying, okay, well, I got a laundry list that we need to deal with, and that's what we're ready to capture and start to work on.
Charlie, I think it's a really important point.
Well, there's no question about that, and what you see out there, Devin, I mean, there's a feeling of hope, as we say. I mean, we're not going to get all this done overnight, but people are feeling better about Detroit, feeling better about their neighborhoods. They're seeing the houses come down. We're dealing with illegal dump sites, etc. And the mayor is still out there. You heard me talk about the campaign when we were on the trail, and we went to 250 homes, and the mayor literally sat down during the campaign in people's living rooms and basements and yards, etc. He's still doing that. So 3 times a month, sometimes 4 times a month, we go still into living rooms and sit down and talk to the residents. What are they seeing that they like? What is it they don't like? What can we do better? So there's still a connection between the mayor's office and the community. And as you know, this is the 6th administration I've worked for here in Detroit. And this is not a knock on the previous mayors because they all had their own style. But this mayor continues to touch the people and go into the living rooms, and I think it makes a difference.
Marshall, it is funny, this is a revelation for me to understand that the complaining is probably a good thing, because it wasn't that long ago that I would hear from residents who said, there's no point in calling the police, they're not coming anyway.
Well, the complaints went unheard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
so
you know,
no,
complaints went unheard, and so they started to lose hope, and they just stopped calling, and then, you know, they jumped the hierarchy and would just call the mayor's office, hopefully that they could get some response, and they didn't feel like things were moving fast enough. So, yeah. And impatience may not be the word. It may be just they see things happening, and the anxiousness, the excitement of the synergy that's going on, and everybody's feeling
here.
Yeah. And I think
we're building trust.
Yeah,
we're rebuilding trust.
So many conversations, though, keep coming back to the same thing in Detroit, and that is that the city can only go so far as our education system and our schools in these neighborhoods is going to allow.
That's right.
Are you seeing anything that makes you feel better about that, for instance, in your district?
So when we talk about the partnership with Gompers Elementary School and how we're cleaning up around there, the parents that were a part of that, what's neat about what we're doing is we're allowing residents to have a voice in what's going on. And so let me just take a quick second. So the Fisher Foundation, they said we're going to donate, you know, several $100,000 to get a job done, but we're not going to dictate how you all use it. So we brought in community leaders and parents to say, where you guys think we can use these funds to get rid of some of these homes? And they said, well, around the school. So now kids feel safe going to school. So now when you get there, you're not like, phew, I made it. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm here to learn, seriously. Because, you know,
that
for
is
real.
really poignant.
Because
I made it.
Yeah, because the principal during her interview said, I felt safe when I walked to school. I never dealt with this before. And so we're hearing that, and we're working at the community level to get, you know, make certain that safe routes to schools, the children feel safe. So now all they have to do is, oh my God, sit back and learn, Devin. Isn't that awesome?
There's a complexity to some of the problems too, right? When you're talking about service delivery like public lighting, that's a very different level of complexity than solving the school problem. And if we're not getting the lights right, then how do we start there? So there's been a process where we take these more complicated the complicated problems, and we work towards them every day. But you start to see results first in the lighting, in the trash pickup, in the demolition, the blight remediation. All of that starts to happen before you get to the most complicated problems in the country.
It's a partnership, and so each district manager and each team is working with the schools in their district to do things that they can do without getting into the weeds of the the politics, and so that is something that we can't touch. So we do what we.
Charlie, if you can figure out how to clear the weeds away from politics.
There we go. That's right. We're working on it.
All right. Well, it's a great conversation. I really appreciate you all being here. Thank you very much, and continued success. And this is a conversation, obviously, that will continue. We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more on Flashpoint. Actually, no, that is it. I don't have another break. That's it for Flashpoint. Have a great week. We'll see you next time right back here for Flashpoint.